down. It's the third Joseph R. Wheeler the third. What's happening, everybody? We back up in this thing. Another live. Let's get to it. Got a lot I want to tell y'all about today. Hope everybody's good wherever you at. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you doing, how you moving. Hope you being productive, enjoying your day. It is a Monday. We back on the grind as we all are. I mean, I'm on the grind 24/7. I don't have to wait for Monday to feel like, hey, I'm back in the office. Shit. This office is every day. One way or another, it's every day, right? So yeah, I'm out here doing this courier thing as usual. Shout out to all my blue collar warriors, everybody in the force, everybody who makes it happen, everybody while everybody else taking us for granted don't understand. Let us have a day off. You'll feel it. There's no packages at the door, honey. Hey, I ordered groceries. Why are they here? I'm hungry. Where's that DoorDash? Oh my gosh, no one's coming. Oh, we can make you feel it. Please believe it. You better respect the folk who make it happen. Make sure you tipping your people when you dropping all this stuff at the doors, okay? We are the ones that make it happen. In a minute, I'm gonna have to pick up this order, so I'm telling y'all right now, I'm gonna have to interrupt this in just a second. Probably, I can't tell. I see somebody walking this way. I don't know if he's heading to me or another car. But okay, not me yet. But check it. So I wanted to tell y'all, we had to shut something down that I was highly disappointed to have to do that, but I'm okay with it because I realize it's just one more example of why I gotta build the right audience for what I've been doing all this time. Now, before I say this, I want to make it clear. Every one of y'all who are subscribers, I appreciate you. I really do. Listen, if we can't do nothing else, let's just keep the number high as long as y'all watching. Now, if you just a number, but you ain't over here ever watching nothing, like you subscribed and walked away, that ain't helping shit. I'm just gonna be real honest. We need you to be watching something at least every other day to once a week or something, like hopefully every day, because we post every day. That's for sure. You ain't gotta ever worry about us giving you some content now. I'm on here every day religiously. This is my journey. This is my passion. This is my life on camera for y'all, sharing y'all the joys and ups and downs and all arounds of this art life, this creative experience, and showing you through my movement how you can do it too and reap the benefits of living an art life. And when I say art life, I mean art life. You ain't got to be you don't have to consider yourself an artist to be in the art life. You do have to appreciate the arts. Notice I made that plural, okay? Because again, my definition, the ONYXCON gospel, as we say, there's so many of them. I'm gonna give y'all one of the scriptures, so to speak. And I'm not religious, but these are words that apply to what I'm defining, okay? ONYXCON's and Joseph R. Wheeler III's definition of the arts are any and every creative expression that ignites, appeals to, stimulates your senses, all 6 of them. That means all your touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing, and your 6th sense, that third eye, always touching the soul, y'all. So the essence of you. So yeah, we go deep like that. And so, when I'm out here doing what I do and do it daily for y'all like I do, and I want to do more of these vlogs, right? Because I love to travel. I'm going to travel no matter what. But I'm not the person who just want to show you, ooh, look at what all the fancy stuff I did, and make you feel like, oh, my life is so boring. I ain't doing nothing. That's not the point. I want to show you the grueling shit it takes to get to it, so you can feel inspired to know, oh, well, hell, if he was doing courier work last week, but now he on the beach, well, hell, I can do that too. Oh, man, he about to turn 50. He's divorced with no kids. Damn. Even if you're saying to yourself, well, I got kids, but I'm divorced and I got a little time and I got some people who can hold the kids for me for a week. I'm about to go on vacation. Whatever I might inspire in you, And I know I got a wide demographic. So, if it's young folk who just don't hear people speak the way I speak as a grown-ass man with a certain type of perspective on life and the world, even that, I'm glad to be of influence and benefit to your mind, if that's helping you in any way. Because I've learned, I used to get annoyed and be like, man, I don't want no kids on here following me because this ain't for kids, But because kids be jumping on these apps and using their parents' laptops and everything else, and they don't even know they on here, There ain't no way to know who's who. Because most of them don't have nothing on their page. You go look, I look through my subscribers and see who y'all are. And some of y'all ain't even got pages for real. Y'all ain't, you know, I mean, I get it. If you're not a YouTuber, you're just here to look, fine. But some of you, I can tell why y'all like my content because, like I said, we do multi-niche content. So it's not one thing, it's multiple topics. I saw something the other day, I was looking at somebody to see who they were, and they had like a car. I said, okay, so they like my ONYXCON rides content. That makes sense. Looked at somebody else, I was like, oh, this might be a kid here. Sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. But I thought to myself, okay, I do post a lot of toys and stuff because it's still, at the end of the day, it's family-based content for the most part. Some of it's strictly for adults. I make it clear, most of my stuff, I never hit the button that says this is for kids on here. If an adult chooses to, as I was saying, let's get back in, y'all. Let's get back in. We back in. Tell a friend, we back in. That's for all my people on set. All my folk in the film biz, y'all feel me? All my PAs. Yeah, I wear many hats, y'all. Many hats. Shout out to all my PAs. We back in, go tell a friend. So, rolling. So as I was saying, I just, you know, I try to, you know, I want to make it clear. My content has always been mostly PG-13. Some of our presentations, like movies and things like that, could get to the R rating, but, you know, we stay in that pocket of 20, you know, like, honestly, like, for real, 21 and up is my real audience. And you can look at my demographics and it reflects that. It's like 25 and up, you know, literally, like 25 to 65 is us. That's who's watching. That's who makes this what it is. And we appreciate y'all. But I just need more people to kick in on the level, like I said, really watching and liking. Like, there's so many of y'all, like 90-something%. This is common for everybody's YouTube channel. I've come to realize from watching other YouTubers complain about this. I used to think, oh, is it just me? Like, what I gotta do to make these, what I gotta do to wake them up? It ain't, no, people just weird, just to be weird. And some people listening to me right now ain't gonna change nothing. Being an asshole is their main objective in life. Like, they don't even understand. It doesn't benefit you in the long run to just be cantankerous for the hell of being cantankerous. Nothing comes from being negative and just being like, if somebody asks for help and you like, oh, hell with your help. Oh, help your help. Because you so bitter because maybe ain't nothing going right for you. But you don't understand. When you help other folk, good things come to you. That's just how it's all karma. You do right by somebody gonna do right by you. It's a guarantee. You may not see it immediately, but when you least done thought it was gonna ever be right, when you done gave up on humanity, somebody gonna treat you better than you ever been treated, give you that opportunity, you're gonna be straight. You're gonna be straight, you know? So, it's just weird, man. It's weird how people can be about stuff. You know, like, here we go now. Somebody done subscribed just so they could troll. How pathetic. how pathetic. Motherfucker, it's so pathetic. They got the damn subscribe just so they can say something stupid. Man, that's pretty pathetic. That's damn. Well, one thing about it, let me see, there we go. There it is. Yep. We don't do timeouts on this channel, baby. We say go to hell forever and a day. It's real simple. Real simple. We don't play timeout. You know, some other YouTubers, they get on here, I'm gonna put you in timeout. No, we don't do timeout. We don't do timeout. Because in reality, timeout got another meaning for me. And it's permanent. So why play them games? We're gonna treat you just like we would if you were standing in front of me. We're gonna digitally let you know you're never welcome. Ever. So, for those who, you know, do support though, right? That's everything. That is literally everything. And as I call them, the monetization nation, we are still striving to go to Brazil. We're still going to go to every place we want to go. We're going to make these vlogs. We're going to touch every continent on this earth. We're going to go some places, you feel me? But the goal ultimately, y'all, and the way we get there is from people who really understand that you have to do the little stuff that you hear everybody ask for on YouTube, like the liking. Yo, I just got a text from family letting me know Malcolm Jamal Warner has transitioned. Malcolm Jamal Warner, who played Theo on The Cosby Show. Malcolm Jamal Warner, who played one of the main characters on the show, hit TV show The Resident. Malcolm Jamal Warner, who was a phenomenal, and forever is a phenomenal orator, poet, writer, thinker, true woke, wisdom embodied, and a man with a message, who was in a band with my good friend, shout out to Dashiell Smith. They have a jazz band. They played together all over Atlanta, and Malcolm would do poetry at these events. And Dash plays trumpet, and they have a whole band that they perform together. I forget the exact name of the band, but I know the two of them are in that band. And this is out of nowhere, man. This is absolutely out of nowhere. Malcolm Jamal Warner, y'all, at age 54. Yo, and I tell y'all, when I be on here talking about live your life for real, and it wasn't like he wasn't living his life. I mean, according to, I still got a lot of questions about the how and all that, but we talking about, they say he was on a vacation, a family vacation in Costa Rica, and was swimming in the ocean and caught a heavy current, is what was said. I said, holy shit. I don't know the specifics of that story enough yet to speak specifically on that. But if that is the case, and this is my source for what I'm saying was an article in Variety. Now, if you know anything about the film business and entertainment at large, typically a Variety is gonna check its sources, and they're not gonna report nothing unless it's, you know, what they could say with factual evidence. But for Malcolm Jamal Warner to be gone at 54, y'all, over such an accident, it ain't even gonna fully hit me till days from now. I know. I'm just speaking in the moment because I just heard it, and I'm saddened, and I'm in shock. I'm just like, I don't even. So y'all gotta understand something. Let me tell you something. Not only did he play in that band with the brother I know directly, but I worked on set with Malcolm on the show The Resident. I worked on The Resident multiple times as an actor. I did background on The Resident. And when you work on The Resident, anybody in Atlanta that's in the film business know, if you're lucky enough to be on The Resident regular, you can be core. And core on any show is where you're the people who are just always there, so that the audience gets familiar with seeing y'all, because it looks like a real workplace. Like you keep seeing that same woman or man, because yeah, they all work there. They're all the doctors, the nurses, all of that, right? So, sorry, I got another message. Ain't had nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm looking at that like, not now. I'm not ready to talk about that now. Side note stuff when you're trying to focus. Not even personal, some more business stuff, but anyway, but no, they do the show The Resident in Atlanta, and when I was on that show, Malcolm had a major character on that show. He was a regular. He has a major role. He's one of the main cast. He's, you know what I'm saying? If you line up the top 10 cast, he's one of them. And I'm just gonna tell this story just to speak of his character and how much of a great individual he is from my direct experience. And anybody who's in the film business gonna understand what I'm talking about with this. But we had a scene where it was like going down a hallway, and all this, when you see the movie, the show, and you're thinking that's a real hospital. It's as real as it can get to be built. Like the whole thing is inside of a studio. It was built. It's a sound stage. So we were walking on this scene. When I say we, everybody who's in the scene, hospital staff, etc., main 2 or 3 cast members talking. And at the end of the shot, when the 2 characters are walking down the hall, they meet up with Malcolm's character, and they say a few words, and that's the end of the shot. and there was a bed, one of them really big, like they don't be, now one thing about Hollywood, there's two versions in my experience. It looks like a real thing, but it's not the real thing, or it's the real thing. It just ain't being used for what it would be in reality, right? It ain't really got electricity or whatever going to it if it's a device that would and all that. And in some cases it does, right? So this is one of them huge hospital beds that are quite heavy if you don't know. And I was playing an orderly, so I'm pushing it. And by the time I get to the end of the scene, the camera, I think they had a steady cam, which is one of these units where the guy wears a whole body vest suit. It's a very heavy camera, and they have to, stay behind the actor real tight to make it look like, the steady cam is always to look like somebody's walking and their perspective on seeing it from that perspective, typically. It's a walk along type shot. So they're with the actors, and when they get to the end of the scene, we come through these doors. It's super crowded back there because all the other background that have been told to walk a certain way, we're all ending at that spot off camera. So, but to make it work, we all had to fit in this little tight space, and we got to do it without making no noise. And every time we would get to the end of the shot, the camera would damn near be pushing up against me, and I'd have no room to move out the way. So I just had to squeeze myself up against this bed and hope for the best, right? And so they did it a few times, no problems. They did it one time, and the damn camera ended up bumping. No, I know what it was. It was not a steady cam. It was one of them, I forget the name of it, but it's this very heavy, solid metal contraption that, and again, people in the biz know what I'm talking about. They actually converted this thing they used to use these in World War II to load bombs on fighter jets. Okay, so yes, it's a very heavy, solid metal piece of equipment. And the guy was, they so busy trying to, when they're in their zone, them camera people, a lot of them, there's two types. There's the ones who, everybody's important on set, and I'm paying attention to everything and everybody around me. And then there's other people who are just like, they so focused on the shot. They don't care if they bump somebody, whatever. So there's always got to be some people around them to move them out the way. And there was no PAs around to help them know, hey, you're getting too close to the background. And the dude bumped my foot with that heavy ass thing. Luckily, it didn't hurt, because if he had went a little further, it would have hurt. And he turned around, he said, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I said, yeah, but I'm looking at him like, all you gotta do is pay attention. Like, we have to pay attention to space. Just like I'm trying to make space for you to get in here, and we're all tight. Are you thinking about me? No, all you thinking about is the shot. But guess what? We all matter. And so Malcolm noticed that. And he said, do you need him to move? Or, he said something like that. Like, if, you got to pay attention. He was talking to the camera. He wasn't talking to me. He was like, it's on you to think about other people while you're doing that. Because he knew how they can be about that. Like, they just act like it don't matter until something happens. Then everybody's like, oh my gosh, we might get sued. It's like, all you got to do is pay attention and be considerate. Yeah, y'all. Wow. Malcolm Jamal Warner, y'all. That's too much. That's too much. And you're on a family vacation? Condolences to the family. Condolences to all his close friends and every one of us who grew up on his performances, knowing his work and his words. Like, I can't say enough. The man I grew to know him to be as a poet. That part of his artistry, not just the actor, but the poet too. Golly, man. It just don't make sense. Some of the folk we've been losing and how we losing them. It makes me more cautious about everything. And to be honest, I'm thinking about something with that being an outdoor thing, and I'm an outdoors and I love outdoor activity. I love travel, like I've said earlier, and I still, no matter what, I'm going to travel. I'm going to do outdoor activities and things. But, it's all risk taking in everything in life. So you can't be like, oh, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that, and then you don't do nothing, and then you freaking drop a pan on your head in the kitchen and die that way or something. I'm not trying to make a bad joke. I'm just saying seriously. You can't be afraid to live, but at the same time, you never know. You gotta be considering everything sometimes. And I'm not saying nothing I'm about to say has nothing to do with the situation. Like I said, I don't even know the scenario of how this happened, other than what I've been given in a article. But I'll say for myself, when I think about dangerous things I've considered doing in life outdoors, and lessons I learned quickly, or even things that weren't even outdoors, indoor accidents, things that happened that were unexpected, that as soon as it happened, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, you're there in pain, and you're saying to yourself, if I had just not done what I thought would have been a fun thing to do, this wouldn't be right now, or I should have thought about that. That's a little too dangerous to try that. Let's not do that. And then, you know, some people I know in my circles that are very, very risk-taking and all that, I've had conversations with them about stuff like that, and they're just like, oh man, you just gotta live. And I say, all I hear when people say shit like that is, so you want me to say that at your funeral? Because there's no freaking way that when you're doing some things, you just gotta know, hey man, this can be dangerous. So unless I hear you at least acknowledge that, I'm already worried about you, because I know you ain't got enough sense for yourself to say, man, let me consider this. Ain't to say you ain't gonna still do it. Do whatever makes you happy in a life. But know the risk and acknowledge the risk from the beginning. If you can at least acknowledge the risk, man, hey, you know, respect. Do you know? Like I've been considering, and I want to get a boat so bad to get out on the Chattahoochee and fish. Because I'm tired of standing on the bank. I want to get out there in it. I want to get in the zone with it. I've seen people going down the river in inner tubes. Now, mind you, all the time I'm talking about on a calm day. The water at the river changes because it's dammed, right? So they can change the flow. And when they change the flow at one dam, it can immediately make the change in the water and make the current go crazy and rise. And the water rises, the current gets faster, all kind of stuff, right? You got trees under that you can't see. You got rock formations you can't see. You got who knows how many things that people have dumped out there that you can't see. It's a lot going on down there, right? In addition to what's naturally there. Like I said, the rocks, the leaves, the tons of grasses and things that naturally grow and all kind of stuff, right? And then there's all kind of crazy fish that I love, that I'm there to, you know, I'm going for the fishing. That's my thing. Turtles, you name it. We got all that going on, right? So I'm considering all that all the time. And I was actually just talking to somebody about maybe renting a kayak, the kind that are made for fishing. Because I've been on a kayak before. I've done kayaking. But it was the kind where you had your legs restricted. It's just a little hole you go down in and you paddle that thing side to side and that's it, right? No, this is, you got free leg space. Some of them sturdy enough for you to stand up. And that's constantly debated on, you know, based on your weight, based on the water, based on all these factors, if that's even good to do. Because you can tip them. Hell, any water vessel can be tipped. And boating safety in general is a very serious thing. And I've known of friends, family, and other folk who have had situations or have known better enough to not ever have a situation. And therefore, you know, you live and you learn. So, you know, like I say, nothing scary is going to keep me from doing what I want to do in my life. But I acknowledge the risk. And I research the risk heavily before I do anything. That's anything. I'm going this place. Oh, okay, what's the chance of getting robbed in that place? Well, you know, lately it's about 90%. Why the fuck are you going there? You know what I mean? It's like, it's immediate. Like, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Man, but that's where the hype is. That's where the fun. They do this, that, and the other thing there. And yeah, well, to get to that, I might get robbed. 90%, man. Fuck, I ain't never got to see that in life. If they stay at 90%, I ain't never got to see it. There's other places to find something similar to whatever that energy is. So, I don't know, man. I don't know, and I don't know. All I know is I just know when stuff like this happens, it makes me think twice about some things I, you know, want to do and how I want to go about doing them. Because I'm wanting to get into my 50s. This brother, this young brother, young, man, that's young, man. You ain't, I always say this, we older, okay? Anybody 45 and up, we older, right? Like, yeah, we older. But until you, like, for me, it's like from 45 through the 50s, even into your 60s, until you reach, man, maybe 65, you can start calling yourself old. And my parents didn't even start saying they were old until both of them got in their 70s. So that's why I say some of y'all just in love with the idea of having an excuse to sit around and be fat and be sorry and not do nothing. Okay, I ain't about none of that life. So, but I see how that's pushed in American culture. They want you to sit down. They want you to get some diseases and have medical bills and be on all these prescription drugs so they can keep testing all this weird stuff that they do to fuck up commercials for, talking about you can have diarrhea and maybe death. With every last one of them say the same thing: headache, back pain. You might result in death, but still take it. Like, what kind of crazy, man? Some folk want to be the guinea pig, so they push a culture of that, and folks go into that nonsense. I'm not with none of that. And like I say, if you can get to at least 75 or 70s, let's just say 70. I'd say by the time you get 70, 70, to me, that's okay. You can say, hey, I'm old, man. Old brother, I'm old sister, I'm older. For real, older. I can double my older if I want to still say older. But you can say, hey, I'm old, respectfully. Don't need just throwing that in my face when you say it. That when it become that joke. Now, wait a minute now, watch how you say that. I know you're an old person. No, really? What the fuck? It's never gonna sound right? No one wants to be old. But yo, you earn that wisdom and that level of everything. So just to be entering the official older, which I've been in older, if you say 45 and up, hell, I've been there, so, man, I want to do it. I want to do it bigger and better, but I want to make sure it's safe, because I see it's not a game. It ain't never been. And I had some wake-ups in my life that just kept me hella realistic about stuff. Because, like, when it come to that ocean, or even I'm talking about the river, like, I don't swim in the river. I'll fish in the river. I'll take a boat in the river. I'll take something safe enough to stay stable on top of it and fish on the river. Yes, all that. But, man, I ain't swimming in that. No, hell no. If I can't see what's in there, I'm not doing it. That's the first rule. Second rule, when it comes to the ocean and waves, man, waves are no joke. One of the worst injuries I ever had in my life, and I've had a few, but not, thank goodness, not so many that they've crippled me or put me in a position where I had a handicap. But I was in California, LA area, toward the end of the day, probably about the time it is now, close to 5, around 5, somewhere in there. And that's when the tide can be changing, because you have high tide, low tide, high tide again, ebb and flow of the ocean. My then relatives told me, because they were from there, my ex, this is back when I was still married and stuff, her and her mom, my mother-in-law at the time, told me, said, man, yeah, I know you wanted to get out here on the beach, I know you want to get in the water, this might not be the time. Them raves are kind of rough, and I'm on some macho man bullshit. Let me tell you, gentlemen, this is for my men especially. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care if you as big as The Rock. I don't care if you as strong as guys who do them heavy lifting competitions. I don't care what you made of. You are still a human being. And the ocean, the wind, the forces of the earth, wind, and fire, baby, you will never outdo. You might be the best another man in a bout of competition. We'll have a pugilist match or wrestling. Great. Y'all just beat the hell out of each other until somebody wins, and I'll be on the side with some popcorn if that's the show for the day. But I'm telling you, there ain't nothing you can do when that wave says, you mine. And that's what happened to me. I wasn't even swimming. I was just taking waves to the chest, and an undercurrent got a hold of me and tossed me like a freaking raggedy ant. And it hurt so bad when I got slammed on the side of my head and my ear went mute. It went dee. That's all I heard. I could still stand. My relatives ran to me, checking me out. I was okay. I could walk, but I mean, you know, vision was a little tingly for a minute. When you get that digitized look, yeah, that. And then everything comes back shortly, but your wind knocked out of you, your ear is humming. It took months for me to get my full hearing back. I said months. So just be realistic about the power of nature and never take it for granted. Respect that energy and know you are only human. Man.